Tonight at 6, how changes to SNAP benefits are affecting students here on campus. What resources are available in Portage County?
The cold and rainy weather over the weekend wasn't able to put a damper on Kent's annual 5K. Our own Abby Forbes has the details.
And will these clouds be going anywhere? When will we see sun again? And will it snow any more this week? I have the answer to all these questions and more in tonight's weather forecast.
Could Hollywood be going on hold? What a potential strike of your favorite screenwriters could mean for your next binge watch. All these stories and more as TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good Monday evening, Portage County, and thanks for kicking off your week with us. I'm Alexandria Manthey.
And I'm Natalie DeSantis. Tonight we start with how the recent changes to SNAP benefits are impacting the community.
That's right, our reporter Sydney Brown is here to tell us more. Sydney, what are the current options for students on campus?
Yes, hi Alex, hi Natalie. There are a range of options for students on campus and in the community, despite the dramatic changes in the SNAP benefits this year. During the pandemic, SNAP benefits were expanded as a part of the government's COVID emergency response. But now the average household is losing $95 a month to help pay for their groceries. But in Kent, there are ways to maximize the monthly SNAP allowance. At the Haymakers Farm Market, I spoke to a Kent State organization, Flashes Fighting Hunger, that offers food security resources for students year-round.
We are a student-powered hunger response, so we do pantries twice a week where I think it's about every day we serve about 50 people, so 100 people a week, mostly faculty and students, but about 30% surrounding community from Portage and Summit County.
It seems like not everyone knows about it, but it's a really great program and everyone can come and
we've got lots of produce, lots of bread. We get most of our donations from Trader Joe's, and then like the rest is supplemented from Akron Canton Food Bank. So it's lots of fresh veggies.
Flashes Fighting Hunger will also be at the Kent State Haymaker Farmers Market tomorrow from 4 to 7 on Risman Plaza. For more about the impacts of SNAP benefits at Kent State, tune in at 6:30. Reporting for TV2 News, I'm Sydney Brown.
Thanks, Sydney. Get your favorite show tune ready for karaoke night. The Flashes Activities Board is hosting a Broadway karaoke night tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. It will take place in Tahini at the Rathskeller. Visit fab_KSU on all social media platforms for more information.
Rose's Rescue is hosting their 10th annual Pasta for Paws fundraiser on Saturday at Immaculate Conception Parish Hall in Ravenna. The event will consist of a pasta dinner catered by Siciliano's Pizzeria, an auction, a bake sale, and other fun activities. Tickets for adults will cost $10, $5 for children 5 to 12 years old, and free for children under 5. All proceeds will go toward helping all of the creatures at Rose's Rescue.
Advocates are asking Ohio legislators for pay raises for direct support professionals. Michelle Madden, CEO of Independence of Portage County, testified before 2 committees in the Ohio House for House Bill 33. The bill would provide an increase in state funding to boost the average salary of direct support professionals from $16.50 an hour to $20.64 per hour. The Ohio General Assembly is hosting budget hearings in preparation for the 2-year state budget, which will be approved in July. String of chilly nights starting this evening. The National Weather Service has issued a freeze watch for northern Ohio as temperatures are expected to dip to around 30 degrees tonight into tomorrow morning.
That's right, and be sure to bring your plants in. The Weather Service warns they could be damaged by the widespread frost, and some exposed water pipes could freeze and become damaged. These frosty nights will continue through Thursday morning. For more on weather, we have our own Noah Rowe. Hi, Noah.
That's right, guys. It's definitely cold out here. We see a lot of winter jackets on the people walking by, and these nights are going to get rather chilly. To start things off this first part of your weather forecast, I want to start things off by taking a look at the temperatures that we're currently seeing in Kent right now. As you might be able to tell, it is 48 degrees out here, and it definitely feels a lot closer to that 45. The dew point today was 28 degrees, and we're getting a bit of wind from the west at 6 miles per hour. Humidity today was at 50%, and visibility is out to 10 miles. And taking a look at tonight's weather and going into tomorrow morning, it's going to be getting a bit sunny around 8 p.m. We're going to get that brief glimpse of sun right in time for the sun to set, and the weather will be at 42 degrees. At midnight tonight, those clouds are going to come back out 36 degrees with winds from the southwest, not too much though, only 2 miles per hour. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. we're going to see sun early in the morning, sun rising at 6:31. Taking a look at our weather for tomorrow, unfortunately that sunshine in the morning is not to last. It's going to give way to cloudy skies and light rain during the afternoon. Our high tomorrow will be 52 degrees, and we're going to be seeing a good chunk of rain, especially in the afternoon evening. Winds from the south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Our sunset will be at 8:15. And unfortunately, that is all the time we have for weather at the moment, but don't go anywhere. I'll be back later on from temperatures across the state of Ohio and your 7-day forecast. Until then, back to the desk.
All right, thanks, Noah. And runners of the Main Street 5K this weekend did not have the best of luck with the weather, racing in chilly temps and a bit of a downpour.
That's right, our own Abby Forbes has the recap. Hey, Abby.
Hey guys, yeah, on Saturday I ventured to Northwater Brewing in the rain, not sure how many people I would actually see for their annual 5K. But even though the weather was rainy, these runners did not allow it to rain on their parade. Take a look.
Main Street Kent hosted their third annual 5K with Northwater Brewing Company as the sponsor once again.
We are going to have this as the base camp for it. So when everybody comes in to sign up, they come here to the patio.
Racers made their way to Northwater Brewing at 9 a.m. on April 22nd to begin the run. But the weather did not exactly cooperate.
When we left West Akron, it was pouring, and our intention was to come and just do the beer and brunch. But it's drizzling, it'll be okay, it won't melt. I mean, it's really the power of friendship. Because it stinks, nobody wants to run in this kind of weather, so we make deals with ourselves that, you know, we can suck it up together.
Body mark, get set, and go!
The run followed the Portage Hike and Bike Trail before ultimately ending back at the brewery.
All right, bring it in, all right.
Registration was $30, and in return, participants received a race bib, a $10 Main Street Kent gift card, a beer glass, and a beer or non-alcoholic beverage. They could also purchase a t-shirt for $15.
Seeing like all these local businesses and how just like the cover fee is really important and can support and make it a really cool experience.
The run is non-competitive, so anyone of any experience or lack thereof, like myself, was welcome to participate.
It helps us too. We have a run club that's here on Thursdays. During the summer, we get anywhere between 40 to 60 people, so they're a part of the race too.
And some people are already ready for next year's 5K.
I mentioned to a couple of my friends that Northwater Brewing did a 5K sponsor event. They're like, oh my gosh, that's awesome, let me know next time.
And for any of you wondering, there are plans for this 5K to happen again next year. Reporting for TV2 News, I'm Abby Forbes.
Thanks, Abby. Now, schools in New York are making changes this week regarding their school district mascots, the new effort to be more inclusive.
President Biden is preparing his campaign for next year's presidential election. We have more on who he's looking to for help with his re-election campaign.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Various school districts across the country are making strides to become more inclusive.
Our correspondent Skylar Edington has more. Hi, Skylar.
Hi guys, yes, many changes have been implemented in schools all across the U.S. Universities are among the list of public schools that are developing new ways to expand diversity throughout their campuses. Michigan State University is in the works of building a brand new multicultural center scheduled to open in November. The $35 million structure will become a place for students to learn about culture and share theirs with other students. Many schools across New York were served an ultimatum by state education officials this week regarding their school district mascots. This is after New York State education officials voted unanimously to ban public schools from using indigenous team names, logos, and mascots. If schools don't comply with the ban, they will be at risk of losing state funding.
A lot of these mascots and logos are Hollywood depictions on what they think Native Americans should look like. And other times it's sensitive items and cultural references that we don't want paraded around on the football field.
Schools in Texas are also undergoing changes to their districts after the state Senate passed a Display the Ten Commandments bill. The bill will require a poster or framed copy of the Ten Commandments to be displayed in the classroom in all public elementary and secondary schools. A measure that would require a time for prayer and Bible reading is in the works as well. Don't go too far because I will be back with international news shortly. Alex, back to you.
Thanks, Skylar. Singer Meghan Trainor apologized for controversial remarks about teachers in a recent podcast episode. Trainor said she's homeschooling her kids and made a reference to the frequency of school shootings. When guest Trisha Paytas spoke about negative experiences with teachers and concerns over potential bullies, Trainor added, quote, "F teachers, dude," end quote. Teachers were quick to call Trainor out for the comments, and she addressed the remarks in a TikTok video on Sunday. She apologized, saying she was just fired up over recent school shootings in the U.S.
And a jury selection is set to begin Monday in New York in a copyright trial against singer-songwriter Ed Sheeran. Sheeran is being sued over his song Thinking Out Loud. The plaintiffs claim it copies the Marvin Gaye classic Let's Get It On. The plaintiffs are the heirs of Ed Townsend, who co-wrote Let's Get It On. Last year, Sheeran successfully fought a lawsuit that accused him of infringement regarding another of his hits, Shape of You.
Hollywood on hold. Production on many of your favorite shows and film series could soon come to a screeching halt. The Writers Guild of America has voted overwhelmingly to go on strike if no labor deal can be reached before the May 1st deadline. The WGA says the rise of streaming and the shortening of traditional TV seasons are making it difficult for members to make a living wage.
That Bed Bath & Beyond coupon in your drawer is only good for a few more days. The company filed for bankruptcy Sunday and will stop accepting coupons on Wednesday. Instead, Bed Bath & Beyond expects to offer deep discounts on its products as part of its going out of business sales. Profits for Bed Bath & Beyond took a hit after stores closed for months because of the pandemic. The company has been trying to cut costs by closing more than half its stores since late last year.
Well, it is the last week of programming, and as we're reaching the end of the semester, usually we see a bit of warmer temperatures, but it's not looking like it.
It really isn't. It's really quite cold, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, it's pretty chilly, but...
Yeah, and it's really such a difference from last week's 80s, you know?
Yeah. Well, our Noah Rowe is actually out there live. Noah, what are our temperatures going to be like this week?
Hi guys, welcome back to part 2 of tonight's weather coverage. We'll be getting to your 7-day forecast in just a minute, but first I want to take a look at temperatures across Northeast Ohio. Taking a look at the towns closest to us, we're going to see a lot of 44s. 44 is the name of the game tonight. Canton, Worcester, Kent, Cleveland, Ashtabula, all sitting at that same average temperature. Not to be outdone, Youngstown, Mansfield, and Sandusky are all at 45 degrees. Very average in our Northeast Ohio area. Moving on to temperatures all across the state of Ohio, Akron's at 45, which is our lowest temperature today, and our highest is a tie between Cincinnati as well as Dayton, both at 51 respectively. Lima and Columbus, Athens, and Steubenville are all right in between that. And finally, moving on to that 7-day forecast, we're going to be seeing a lot of rain this week. Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday are all going to be raining, with Wednesday and Thursday being our only chance for sunshine. Our highest temperature this week will be 62 degrees on Thursday. It'll be partly cloudy and we'll have light wind. It's going to be our best day of the week. Make sure to take a look at that one if you have any outdoor activities planned. That is all the time we have for weather at the moment, but I'll be back later on in the show to give you more weather updates. Until then, back to the desk.
Thanks, Noah. President Biden is getting ready to run again for the White House. 2 senior Democratic advisors said the president plans to name White House advisor Julie Chavez Rodriguez to oversee his re-election campaign. Rodriguez is the granddaughter of labor icon Cesar Chavez. Rodriguez is a longtime Democratic advisor and is close to the president. Naming Rodriguez to the post would clear the way for the president to formally announce he is running again, and it could come sometime early as this week.
And a recent NBC poll has shown that former President Donald Trump has a significant lead for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination. The poll said that 46% of Republican voters would be backing Trump in next year's primary election, while 31% chose Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. However, the poll also showed evidence of objection to Trump's running again amongst all adults, with 60% saying he should sit out.
Well, thank you for having us. It's an honor to be here. We've enjoyed our time so far in Japan and just going around Tokyo. And we're just fortunate to be able to be here and talk with business leaders who are, see the world similar to how we see it in Florida.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis met with top Japanese government officials in Tokyo Monday. His stop in Japan is part of his trip abroad for a series of visits to allied nations to discuss potential business partnerships. It's a chance for the Florida Republican to step onto the international stage for the first time as a likely presidential contender. DeSantis' stop in Tokyo including a meeting with the Japanese Prime Minister, where the two exchanged views on regional affairs.
Special visitors waddled through an elementary school in Streetboro. We have more on these cuddly creatures.
The Golden Flashes had quite the weekend in their perspective of sports. Find out how it all broke down later in your TV2 Sports Report.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dom O'Brien, and welcome back to your sports report in today's newscast. We had a lot going on this past weekend, including a MAC championship being awarded to one of the Kent State teams. The KSU women's golf team had an outstanding performance this past weekend at the MAC championship in Kalamazoo, Michigan. This was an unprecedented achievement for the Flashes, now capturing their 24th consecutive MAC title, and freshman Leon Takagi claimed the individual prize, who carded a team low of 69 on Sunday. All 5 members of the lineup placed top 7 in the 50-player field, another unparalleled achievement. They will now shift their focus on the NCAA regionals that begin on May 8th. One KSU team that is on their way to competing in the MAC championship is the men's golf team, who finished solo second at 21 over behind Ohio State at the Robert Kepler Invitational. This 21 over was the best result of the spring season for the Golden Flashes, highlighted by Chris Vendetti, who finished even par after 3 days of action with 2 69s in the first round. Head coach John Mills mentioned he is very proud of his guys this week and that they will have a lot to prove this next week. Their MAC championship will be played in Athens, Alabama on April 30th. KSU had a close-knit victory against Central Michigan in lacrosse this past weekend at Dick Stadium with a final score of 17-15. This game was so important for either team because the winner would hold first place in the conference. This was the first time KSU has beaten Central Michigan in lacrosse and simultaneously handed them their first conference loss of the season. They will move on to play Detroit Mercy on Wednesday, April 26th. That's all the time I have for you right now, but please be sure to stick around later in today's newscast, where I'll be discussing the professional sports scene in Northeast Ohio and how things are shaping up. For more sports news, I'm Dom O'Brien.
Another new horror movie tried to bring down the reigning box office champ. Was it able to scare up a weekend win? Welcome back. Moviegoers continue to head to theaters to support their favorite films as these flicks grapple for that top spot on the charts. Evil Dead Rise debuted in second place this weekend with a strong $23.5 million. Wow.
And there's still no stopping the Super Mario Bros. Movie. The video game-based animated adventure topped the chart for a third straight weekend, earning $58.2 million for a domestic total of $434 million. And Clear Creek Elementary School in Springboro, Ohio, has a few special guests that were invited to take a tour of the building. A family of ducks. This mama duck has been residing in the school's sensory garden for more than 5 years, where she builds her nests, lays her eggs, and raises her ducklings. This year, the school decided to relocate the mother and her 12 babies to the wooded area behind the school to give them some more space.
Oh, that is so cute.
Isn't it just so precious? Do you like ducks?
I do like ducks.
Of
They're
course.
so cute.
Absolutely.
I feel like once we get into Easter and spring,
Absolutely.
we
It's
start to
really
see
their
all those
season.
whales.
It really is their
Yeah.
season. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love their little feetles, as you
Yeah.
said. And they're so cute.
All right, and what about those movies? Have you gone to the movie theaters recently?
You know what? I haven't. I've heard really good things about the Mario movie, and of course the Peaches song is everywhere,
Yes.
and all of my friends are talking about it.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
know, something I have to see, but I haven't yet. Have
Yeah.
you?
I definitely need the popcorn, but I haven't been able to go out. Have you gotten to see any scary movies? Do you like scary movies?
Yeah, you know, I actually watched Megan a few nights ago about
okay.
the robot doll that kind of becomes a little bit possessed.
Yes.
You know, it was a little bit creepy, a little bit creepy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not one for scary movies. Definitely more those animated ones.
Absolutely. You know, life is hard enough.
Right,
You know, I
yeah.
don't want all that gore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's no
not for me.
surprise Mario's at the top.
Exactly.
People like us.
Agreed.
All right, well, that is all the time we have for you right now. But for updates on these stories, visit KentWired.com and follow us on social media at KentWired. I've been Alexandria Manthey.
And I'm Natalie DeSantis, but don't go away for too long. Our 6:30 edition starts momentarily.
Coming up on TV2 News, the terms of SNAP benefits are changing back to the way they were pre-pandemic, how this will affect students.
An unknown person in Wayne County is impersonating law enforcement, and the local police are warning citizens to stay alert.
9 people were shot at after a prom party in Texas. We have more on that ongoing investigation.
And a carjacking attack in Jerusalem left 5 people injured. Our own Skylar Edington has details.
This is TV2 News.
Good Monday evening, Portage County, and thank you so much for joining us.
I'm Natalie DeSantis.
And I'm Alexandria Manthey.
Tonight we start with changes being made to SNAP benefits.
Our own Sydney Brown is here with more. Hi, Sydney.
Hi, you guys. Thanks for having me. I spoke to about SNAP benefits today, and they were recently reduced to pre-pandemic levels. However, there are still resources available for SNAP beneficiaries and college students. I reached out to these various organizations in Kent to learn about the current food insecurity situation.
You can't really be a functional student without knowing like your basic needs are going to be met.
This past February, SNAP Benefits, a government program that provides income for food to low-wage individuals, reverted to pre-pandemic levels and is reforming food insecurity.
A big part of our mission is to have equitable access to this healthy, fresh, local food. So Haymaker has these different food assistance programs at market. In 2022, we distributed over $90,000 of fresh, local foods directly to people through the market. The largest of those programs is SNAP.
But there are options in the community to maximize the SNAP food stamps, including at the local farmers market.
By centrally administering the program is we can participate in a matching program called Produce Perks. So customers who use SNAP benefits at market can get matching benefit for up to $25 a week for fresh fruits and vegetables at market.
On campus, resources are available to help fight food insecurity, and they might be closer than you think.
We've not seen an increase of the number of students who are coming in based on SNAP benefits and the reduction. Our numbers have been pretty consistent over the semester, but we do know that it is impacting students.
The focus for the Care Center remains to meet students' basic needs so they can succeed in academics and beyond.
Well, it's so comforting to know that there are so many resources at our fingertips to combat food insecurity.
Exactly. On campus, we have Flashes Fighting Hunger and the Care Center, and they are both great organizations that are always available for students. So for that full list of all of those resources, they should go to the Care Center because they have those resources for Kent State and the whole community.
Wow, really interesting. Thank you so much, Sydney.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sydney.
And Main Street Kent held their annual 5K race this weekend. Our reporter Abigail Forbes was there and has the recap. Hi, Abby.
Hey, Alex. Yeah, Main Street Kent partnered with Northwater Brewing for their 3rd annual 5K on Saturday, despite the rain. And runners paid $30 and received a race bib in return, along with a $10 Main Street Kent gift card, a beer glass, and a beer or non-alcoholic beverage. They could also purchase a t-shirt for an extra $15. The non-competitive race brought members of the community together and the local brewery and local businesses as well.
I just think meeting new people.
And for any of you wondering, Case Western Reserve University and University Hospitals Cleveland Medical Centers announced today that they have received a $6.2 million grant from the National Institutes of Health. This sizable grant is for them to research an AI's ability to predict cardiovascular disease. The project is being co-led by Sanjay Rajagopalan, Herman K. Hallerstein, and David Wilson.
You will want to know about tonight's weather. As you can see currently in Kent, it's 48 degrees, and it definitely feels like 45. Our dew point is at 28 degrees today, and we have some winds from the west at 6 miles per hour. The humidity today was 50 degrees, and we have visibility out to 10 whole miles. Moving on to what it's going to look like tonight into tomorrow. We're going to get a break of sun at 8 o'clock. 42 degrees, and our sunset will be at 8:14, so it'll be the perfect time to go take a peek outside and take a look at that sunset. At midnight, we're going to get more clouds, and we're going to go down to 36 degrees with winds coming in from the southwest at 2 miles per hour. Moving into tomorrow morning, we're going to see sun early in the morning, and unfortunately, that sun's not going to be staying. We will be seeing rain in the afternoon, a high of 52 degrees, and winds from the south/southwest from 5 to 10 miles per hour. Our sunset tomorrow will be at 8:15. That is all the time we have for weather at the moment, but I'll be back with more weather updates later on, including another look at your 7-day forecast.
Thank you so much, Noah. The Wayne County Sheriff's Department is warning citizens of law enforcement impersonation trying to, quote, lure women. According to officials, there have been at least 3 incidents over the past 3 days where individuals have been reported being pulled over by someone acting as law enforcement. The alleged imposter is described as wearing a uniform that says sheriff on the chest with a body camera and is driving a dark-colored sedan. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Wayne County Sheriff's Office.
Now, I want to say it is very, very unlikely that law enforcement officers will pull you over ever with an unmarked car, and specifically for minor traffic violations, equipment violations, these types of things.
Today, Akron-based Congresswoman Amelia Sykes formally called on the United States Department of Justice to investigate the death of Jayland Walker. Sykes announced her support of an investigation into the Akron Police Department last week when a special Summit County grand jury refused to press charges against the officers involved. In her request, Sykes wrote that the community needs a third party in order to heal and move forward.
And staying in Akron, the Akron Police Department released a video on their Facebook page yesterday addressing the use of pepper spray at downtown protest. Chief Milet said individuals were throwing rocks, bricks, and bottles containing unknown liquids at officers at a Jayland Walker protest last week. Milet said their protesters were blocking traffic and the force deployed pepper spray on the crowd. The city of Akron has since agreed to a restraining order blocking deployment of chemical irritants by Akron police.
And those activists continue to protest the decision of a grand jury's decision to not charge the officers responsible for the death of Jayland Walker over the weekend. The protesters met in the Community of Christ church parking lot across from the Summit County Jail, where they alleged that the 3 people who were arrested in connection with the protests had been mistreated. Reports have been made that authorities have displayed abusive behavior toward those who have been imprisoned, including the use of racial slurs and death threats.
And an update on the Hudson man shot and killed in his home on Thursday. Cleveland State University has released a statement confirming that Dr. Todd Allen Morgan was an assistant professor in the College of Business. The statement remembered Dr. Allen as a kind, dedicated colleague and a skilled educator. Hudson police are still investigating this incident.
At a UN meeting, Russia's foreign minister spoke his thoughts about the state of the world since the invasion of Ukraine.
Disney is suspending fire effects at shows at its resorts worldwide after an animatronic went up in flames. More on that incident.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
Welcome back. Monday, the former Minnesota police officer who killed Dante Wright was released from prison. Kimberly Potter served 16 months of her 2-year sentence for fatally shooting an unarmed 20-year-old during a 2021 traffic stop. She said she mistook her gun for a taser.
Potter will be on supervised release until December when her sentence expires. Her attorney says she is planning to live in Wisconsin and not return to Minnesota. Meanwhile, Wright's mother says she is struggling with Potter's release, but Katie Wright says Potter not being able to serve as a police officer again has given her, quote, a sense of peace.
Florida police arrested a 38-year-old man they say kidnapped and assaulted a DoorDash delivery driver. Tampa police say Joseph Killens was armed and when he approached a DoorDasher while she was making a delivery last week. He allegedly forced her to drive to a nearby apartment and sexually assaulted her in the vehicle. Police say Killens fired multiple times, hitting one person. Both the driver and shooting victim were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police arrested Killens Friday night when he is charged with kidnapping and sexual battery.
And an after-prom party in Jasper County, Texas was an unforgettable night when yet another shooting took place. 9 teenagers ranging from 15 to 19 suffered non-fatal injuries after gunfire broke out at a party of more than 250 people. The shooting is still under investigation, and though investigators have yet to discover a motive, they have a number of persons of interest.
It was in shock, just like you would be if you was at a party and shots was fired. You'd be wanting to call your mom and daddy or somebody to get somewhere safe.
Disney is temporarily suspending certain fire effects at shows at its resorts worldwide. It comes after a weekend blaze involving an animatronic dragon at Disneyland in California. On Sunday, the fire-breathing dragon Maleficent caught fire, prompting evacuations of the Tom Sawyer Island section of the park. Pyrotechnics are among the special effects featured in the longtime-running Fantasmic show at both Disneyland and Disney World. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
And former Dancing with the Stars judge Len Goodman died on Saturday at 78 after a battle with bone cancer. Goodman was featured in the ballroom dance portion of the show for 17 years before he stepped down last year to spend more time with his family. His manager stated that he went into hospice after his diagnosis, where he passed away peacefully.
And a change comes to the top of NBC Universal. Jeff Shell announced Sunday he is leaving after an investigation determined he had an inappropriate relationship with a woman in the company. Shell issued a statement that said he regretted his actions and apologized to his colleagues. Shell joined the company 19 years ago and became CEO in 2020. Shell helped to oversee the debut of NBC's streaming service Peacock, which surpassed 20 million subscribers at the end of last year. So far, NBC has not named a replacement for Shell.
Hello, Portage County. It is once again time to take a look at this week's upcoming weather. I'll give you your 7-day forecast right after we take a look at temperatures across Northeast Ohio. As we can see, starting off with these temperatures, 44 seems to be name of the game. 44 in Cleveland, Kent, Worcester, and Canton, respectively. The other number you're going to see up there a couple times is 45. You're going to see that in Sandusky, Mansfield, as well as Youngstown. Moving on to temperatures all across the state of Ohio, we're going to be seeing a bit more of a variance from what we saw in Northeast Ohio. 45 in Akron is going to be your lowest temperature all across the state, with your highest being tied in Dayton as well as Cincinnati, respectively. Lima, Columbus, Athens, and Steubenville are all pretty average, 47 and 48 respectively, and they're the middle of the pack, so to speak. And moving on to your 7-day forecast, we're going to be seeing a lot of rain in this next coming week. Tomorrow, it's going to be raining. We're going to be seeing rain on Friday, on Saturday and Sunday and Monday. Rainy weekend for sure. Tuesday and Thursday are going to be our nice days for the week. Wednesday and Thursday, with 53 on Wednesday and our highest temperature of 62 on Thursday. Partly cloudy and light winds. It's going to be the perfect day to do anything you want outside. That is all the time I have for weather coverage tonight. Be sure for the rain later in the week since it doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
All right, well, thank you so much, Noah. It definitely sounds like up and down on this weather as always.
Absolutely, absolutely. But you know what they say, all these April showers, we'll be seeing May flowers soon enough.
Yeah,
love to hear
sounds
that.
good.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Noah. And moving on to events overseas, foreign governments are working to evacuate citizens out of Sudan.
Our correspondent Skylar Edington has more. Hi, Skylar.
Yes, after the attacks on Sudan, the government is working endlessly to keep its citizens safe. Days of fighting rages throughout Sudan, foreign governments are working to evacuate diplomats and citizens. Over the past few days, 1,000 diplomats have successfully evacuated, including the staff of the U.S. Embassy. Officials stated that the capital has endured heavy bombardment, with the warring sides showing no signs of standing down. Monday, at least 5 people were wounded in Jerusalem after a suspected carjacking attack at a popular market. The dark blue sedan drove into a crowd, hitting 3 men who were lightly wounded, a woman with bruised limbs, and a 70-year-old who was left unconscious. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is referring to the carjacking as a terrorist attack. Russia's foreign minister spoke at a UN Security Council meeting where he stated that the world is in a more dangerous situation than during the Cold War. During the meeting, the UN Secretary General degraded Russia's invasion on Ukraine and emphasized the devastation and destruction that has resulted from it. These events have led the minister to believe the world is in a more precarious situation than it has in decades.
As was the case in the Cold War, we have reached a dangerous, possibly even more dangerous threshold. The situation is worsened with the loss of trust in multilateralism, when the financial economic aggression of the West is destroying the benefits of globalization, when the United States and its allies are abandoning diplomacy and demanding clarification of relations on the battlefield.
That is all I have for international news tonight. If you would like to read more on these stories, go to KentWire.com. Reporting for TV2, I'm Skylar Edington. Back to Alex and Natalie at the desk.
Thanks, Skylar. It seems some fans still have disco fever even in 2023. How the famous white suit from Saturday Night Fever just sold for over $200,000.
See how the Cleveland Guardians fared against the Miami Marlins following their doubleheader losses.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Hello again, everyone. Dom O'Brien here, and welcome back to your Sports Report on TV2. We last spoke about college-level sports, but now we'll get into the professional sports scene. The Cleveland Cavaliers have had a rough duel against the New York Knicks during round 1 of the NBA playoffs. Last game, the Knicks came out on top again with a score of 102-93. Darius Garland went 9 for 16 with 23 points to his name, followed up by 14 points from Jared Allen and Karis LeVert. Donovan Mitchell had the lowest point total with 11. With the series now 3-1, the Cavs have one more chance to keep their playoff run alive. That game will be taking place Wednesday, April 26th at 7 p.m. And in other news, the NFL draft will be taking place, this week starting on Thursday, April 27th at 8 p.m. Round 1 will be shown on Thursday. Rounds 2 through 3 will be broadcasted starting at 7 p.m. on Friday, and rounds 4 through 7 will be aired on Saturday starting at 12 p.m. Some names to look out for in this showing include C.J. Stroud from Ohio State, Bryce Young from Alabama, and Anthony Richardson from Florida. Now we're going to swing it over to the MLB. John Birdie cranks one into center field for a homer in the top of the 3rd, making it 1-0. The Guardians hosting the Marlins here on this Sunday morning duel. Jose Ramirez responding in the bottom of the 3rd with an RBI homer in left center field. 2-1 now. Josh Bell, right after Jose Ramirez, stings one into left field and lands it right below section 180 to make it now a 3-1 ball game after the single homer. Then moving on, 3 innings later, the Guardians gained 2 more runs, making it 5-1. It was Will Brennan who sliced one up to first base, but an error into third base led to an Ahmed Rosario trot to home plate, making it 6-1. Top of the 8th now, Avisail Garcia trying to get the Marlins back on track and steps up with a launch to center field, scoring a 3-run home run. Now Jose Ramirez in the bottom of the 8th, shooting a laser beam to right center field. Rosario soaring his way around the bases from first base. Throw to the plate from Kissholm is not in time. Rosario sighs a breath of relief, and the Guardians avoid being swept by the Marlins with a final score of 7-4. That is all we have for you tonight, but if you are looking for more sports action, please be sure to tune in to another episode of Sports Corner at 8 o'clock sharp. I'm Dom O'Brien, and have a beautiful night, Portage County.
Coming up, a movie theater in Alaska was surprised by a very special visitor they received last week.
Welcome back. A movie theater in Alaska got a surprising visitor last Wednesday, a moose. Workers at the cinema in Kenai were surprised to see the animal walk right through the door and into the lobby.
That's right. It happened after employees propped the door open to let some cool air in. The moose wasn't interested in seeing the show. Instead, it followed its nose to some popcorn left near the trash can. It spent about 5 minutes chowing down on a free meal before workers were able to coax it back outside.
And the suit John Travolta wore for Saturday Night Fever sold at an auction for $260,000. That's at least $60,000 more than Julianne's auction had expected. In the 1977 drama, Travolta's character escaped the realities of life by dominating the dance floor at the local disco. The movie helped popularize disco music around the world, and the white three-piece suit he wore became iconic. Turner Classic Movies worked with the auction house to organize the sale. Wow, that is a lot of money, that's
yeah,
for sure.
Honestly, absolutely.
Have you guys seen the movie?
I've not, no.
No?
I just know the suit.
Yes,
I just know the suit. That's all I can say.
Exactly, yes. The music, the Bee Gees, of course.
Yes, yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
I mean, I love John Travolta.
He's
great in everything.
Iconic
Danny
70s
Zuko,
character, you know? Absolutely, absolutely.
Would any of you pay that much money for something later in life, even if it's your favorite movie?
Not even close. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I could not do that. I have other things that I need to pay attention to.
I agree with Dom.
Any movies that you are obsessed with?
I just couldn't imagine having that much money in general.
I think
That'd be nice.
Good for like a museum setting. Like that's where I would like be excited to see that in person, but I don't need to own it.
Our very own Indiana Jones right here in the studio, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, have any of you guys, we talked about movies at our first part of the show, but have any of you guys seen a moose in the movie theater?
No.
Absolutely not.
You guys?
Not for me.
That's unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Yeah,
I don't know what I would do if I saw an animal trotting around in a theater, but
and as big as a moose too. I mean, honestly.
Those are big. Like,
Yes.
like underestimatingly, they are huge.
Oh yeah. I mean, I like popcorn probably more than the next person, but I don't know if I liked it as much as that moose.
I think that moose liked it way too much. 5 minutes, ooh.
How long does it take to eat some popcorn? I mean,
You
truly.
must have had a large, I think.
That's all I gotta say.
He got the special edition bucket that goes with certain movies.
Oh, of
and-
course.
Probably.
Of course.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite flavor of popcorn at all?
I think butter's just classic.
Loaded butter, yeah.
Loaded butter.
Layered butter. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right. Well, that is all the time we have for you today.
Thank you so much for joining us.
For updates on all these stories and more, visit our website at kentwired.com.
And on social media at Kent Wired on all platforms.
And tune in at 8 p.m. for a new episode of Sports Corner. I'm Dom O'Brien.
I've been Sydney Brown.
I'm Noah Rowe.
I'm Natalie DeSantis.
And I've been Alexandria Manthey. Have a great night, Portage County.
This is Portage County's TV2, broadcasting from the campus of Kent State University. Streaming online at kentwired.com.